Hello everyone, welcome back to Speaking Spurs and me, Kieran, talking all things Tottenham. Today we're going to talk over the NS Mura win of 5-1 in the Europa Conference League, and then a little bit about the up-and-coming game against Aston Villa in the Premier League. So in the last video I mentioned that I'll be doing daily updates. That is going to start from Monday, so you'll have lots of content. All the small ins and outs that are going on within the club will be done, which means our video should be a bit shorter. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and leave your comments, and I will try and get back to you. So, making videos has been difficult since I changed jobs. I have a lot going on in the evenings. I play football twice a week. I perform as well as an actor, so I have to rehearse throughout the week. I'm actually on stage this week, so this is why I couldn't start the daily videos this week. It's pretty much going straight from work to the theatre. So we'll dive right into it. So a 5-1 win, it's a fantastic result. It's nice to see us banging in some goals. It's probably our most comfortable win. So we'll talk through the lineup, a little bit about the players, and then I'll talk about the game itself. So in goal, Galini couldn't really do anything for the goal he conceded. It was just a great strike from Kus. His volley on the edge of the box. Lovely dipping volley. He's never going to hit anything like that in his life again. Not in a match anyway, I reckon. Couldn't do much about that, but wasn't really kept busy at all. And I wouldn't really say that was down to our quality. I would say it was more down to their lack of quality. Doherty in at right back. Again, it's just not good enough from him. Defended fairly well, but again, the opposition isn't what he's going to come up against in the Premier League. So he's not really taking these moments to cement a place in the squad. Going forward, again, very sloppy. His passing, I'm just not enjoying at the moment. Not enjoying at all. He really needs to have a hard look at himself and figure out what's going on and get back to the player that he was, that we should have signed from Wolves. Romero, composed in pretty much everything he did. Again, didn't have a lot to do. Rodon, he had some very solid moments throughout the game. He had a lovely weaving run before the break. Again, didn't have a lot to do. Reguilon, it's starting to annoy me now. His passing has just gone way downhill. And again, it was poor. He could have had a couple of goals himself had it not been for his lack of composure. Unlike the composure we saw with the penalty that he scored in the Carabao Cup. Maybe eyes lit up, got a bit excited. Composure just wasn't great. Winks, he managed to get a full 90 minutes under his belt. I mean, he did okay. It's hard to judge these performances because of who we were playing against. So, based on the game itself, Winks had a fairly solid game. Skip, now, he did have a very solid game. Defensively, I think he's been excellent since he's been back. He was good again. He broke forward and had a little shot that he dragged just wide of the left-hand side of the post. I think he's coming along nicely. He's definitely a great one for the future. Will be an important part of the squad for this season. I think we'll see him in and out of the side, especially with the resurgence of Tanguy Ndombele. But this will be a very good season for him to, make a mark, ready for maybe next season to be a firm starter. Lo Celso, a powerful shot for his goal. He was in and out of the game really until he was moved into the number 10 role, which is the Lo Celso I want to see. Much better passing, more confidence on the ball. A nutmeg for the assist for Kane. He's just much better in that number 10 role. When he hasn't got to do loads and loads of defensive work, he's very good at picking a pass, watching people's runs. He gets his head up and has a look. I know he's been a bit iffy since he came back from the Copa America, but, settling down period, confidence, games, these are all things that hopefully bring him onto that next level. But a good performance from him. Dele Alli did well to win the penalty, converted the penalty. But after he scored, he had that nice curling effort as well, didn't he, that was saved. But after he scored, he was quite sloppy. I've noticed this season, certainly, his passing has been a bit meh. But, that's not really the Dele Alli we know. He's not known for amazing passing. I know he had a decent assist in a previous game with that great ball through to Kane. Perfectly timed, weighted ball. But, that's not his job. The Dele that we knew and loved was more about making those late runs into the box and scoring some goals, or if it was going to be assist, it was never really a great pass. It was because he'd made a nice run and laid it off Kane to absolutely bury. So I'm not surprised that The passing's a bit meh. And he's been playing in a different role as well. He was in the number 10 role to start in this game, which allowed him to break into the box. So it'll be a good battle between him and Lo Celso for a number 10 role, if that's indeed what Dele Alli wants. But however, he says that he quite enjoys the defensive side of the game, so we shall see. Brian Hill. He tried. He worked hard to not much avail. That's my little one to get stuck on today, avail. Yeah, I mean, look, he's definitely one for the future. That's what he was brought in for. He's had to play a little bit more than we thought he would because of injuries to people like Bergwijn, Sessegnon, Sonny being in and out with his little injury. But look, he's doing okay. He's showing right things, good energy. It's not for lack of passion or anything like that. So it's a good start to his Spurs career. And I think he'll be great for us in the future. Scarlett. I feel sorry for the guy. Every time he seems to start a game, he just gets poor service. It's not his fault. Like, he has good movement. He showed a couple of times what he can do with his twists and turns. If we get it right with him, he's going to be a hell of a player for the future. So I've got all the patience in the world for someone like Scarlett. He genuinely has just not been getting the service whatsoever, which is a shame because you take him off, put Kane on, then all of a sudden Kane gets a shed ton of service to him. So yeah, let's talk about those subs. Harry Kane came on, finally made a positive impact in a game. You know, the energy levels were a bit up, scored a hat-trick. Some really good movement, especially for the ball that Lo Celso played through to him. Quick thinking for the first goal where he was running onto it and had to slide really quickly and toe poke it into the back of the net. That was some sharp thinking, which we haven't really seen from Kane so far this season. He's almost felt a bit laboured in his endeavours. So it was nice to see. Again, I know it's poor opposition, but confidence. And I think this will do wonders for him. It's really set him off now. A hat-trick is always great to get. Who else? Sonny. He came on and he grabbed an assist, looked lively, was a bit of a menace at times. Mura, another one that managed to grab an assist. I mean, on his day, he's always a threat, isn't he? He's got good pace, good energy. Højbjerg, he added some good energy to the midfield, helped us shore things up a bit. Royale, not really much to talk about with him because he came on quite late. So, from that performance, what we can take is winning is always good. Obviously not the best opposition, Slovenian champions, this is their chance to finally be in European football. And this is where the Europa Conference League is a good thing. For us, it can be a bit of a negative because it's more unwanted football that we don't need. However, it is a competition we could realistically win, which, you know, that's a trophy in the cabinet if we can get that over the line. I know it only guarantees Europa League football the following season, which we shouldn't really be worrying about. We should be up there guaranteed that and pushing for a Champions League spot. But, you know, it's something. It's great for these smaller teams from nations that wouldn't usually get a chance in European football. So from that aspect, I think it's a great competition. But maybe just don't include Premier League clubs in it. I'm sure there's other Premier League clubs that would love to be in it. Teams that wouldn't normally get European football. If you turn around to, I don't know, Norwich and said to them, would you want to play the Europa Conference League? I'm sure they'd say yes. Look, we started the game well. Good energy. 2 early goals. We get the 5-1 win, and it's our most comfortable win of the season. We haven't really had a comfortable win so far. We've made things quite difficult for ourselves, or we've just got over the line with the 1-0 wins and tried to keep it tight. The subs of Kane, Son and Mura definitely helped us. They added more energy to the team in a moment where I think we needed it. I don't think we were ever in a situation where we had to worry about conceding another goal, because at the end of the day, their goal was just a nice wonder strike from the edge of the box. They didn't create too many chances, didn't really hurt us. So I was never worried that we were going to lose the game, but I felt like the energy levels were kind of starting to tail off a bit. It added the energy, got us another 3 goals, which is great. You know, both the subs got an assist. It meant Lo Celso could be moved further forward, and he ended up having a great game because of it. So, you know, hopefully this is something to build on. Whether it be a poorer quality of team, it's definitely something to start and build on. And for Kane as well, I think when you look at strikers, it doesn't matter the quality of the opposition they come up against, because goals breed confidence, and this is something that he's definitely needed. A hat-trick is the right way to bounce back, and put yourself in good stead. And we've seen many a time, Kane tends to have slow starts to the season, and then just goes on a massive, oh, hello, need to knock my cap off, then goes on a massive scoring run. So hopefully this is, the confidence that he needs, the belief, a bit of link-up play with some of the other players in the team will help with his confidence moving forward, and he can destroy Villa. So moving on to that, Aston Villa is our next game up this Sunday, which will be the 3rd of October, a 2 p.m. kickoff. Team news for us, Bergwijn is still out. Davies, we believe, could have appendicitis, so he won't be playing. For them, Leon Bailey is out, which I'm happy to see. Not because I want anyone to be injured, but I'm happy that he's not going to be playing against us. I like Leon Bailey. I know he's somebody that we'd looked at in the past, certainly. Great talent. It's a very good signing for Villa, and I think they did some very good business in the summer, if I'm honest. Buendia as well, great signing. Sanson is also out for them, and so is Trezeguet. Just looking at a bit of previous between the two of us, we've actually won the 10 of our last 12 versus Villa, which is great. However, they are on the rise since those games, really. Our last 3 games, and this is terrible reading, we know that we've lost our last 3 games, and all against London clubs, which is not great. 2 of them being Chelsea and Arsenal. 9-1 on aggregate. It doesn't make for good reading, does it? So, something needs to change in this game. A bit of desire, a bit of defensive togetherness. I think we need to keep the ball better. That's certainly been a problem I've seen this season. But if we look at Villa, so they started off not great with their 3-2 loss to Watford. They then bounced back with a 2-0 win over Newcastle, a 6-0 win over Barrow. I know that is a massive golfing class there, but 6 goals in a game, goals breed confidence, as I've said. They got a 1-1 draw to Brentford, and that doesn't really reflect on Aston Villa's quality. That actually reflects on Brentford's. I think they're a good team. I've enjoyed them, and I think they've knocked on the door several times. They run their club really well. So kudos to them. A 3-0 win over Everton, which is never an easy game. They are a good team. They've got a talented squad. A 1-1 draw with Chelsea in the Cup. Obviously, they then went on to lose on penalties. Whatever. But still, 1-1 against Chelsea in the 90 minutes is great. And then they got their 1-0 win over Manchester United. So they're very much a team that are in a transition period. They're getting back to where Aston Villa previously should have been, I think. They've been a club that has traditionally spent a decent whack of money. They've always had squads that, in my opinion, have underperformed when they were in the Premier League. Massively underperformed with the players they've had. But, we'll see what happens. They're going to be a tough opponent. Luckily for us, we are at home. I think that will help us. Our fans and the size of the stadium and the noise that is in there is certainly an intimidating place to be if we get it right on the day. However, on the flip side, if we're not playing well and the fans go quiet, it becomes a very eerie place for our players to play. So if you are going to the game, get behind the boys, make a ton of noise, spur them on as much as you can, because at the end of the day, there may be 11 players on that pitch at any one time. We are the 12th man. We do make a difference. So we'll see. Not overly confident that we're gonna win the game, but I'm not in a situation where I'm sitting here thinking that we're gonna go into it and lose. At the moment, for me, yes, the results matter in a sense, but I just want to see a bit of grit and determination and the players to really push themselves and fight for the badge at the moment. That, for me, right now is the most important thing. It's the energy levels, and if they're willing to push themselves through pain barriers to get over the line and really show us fans that they care. I do think we're in a bit of a bad moment. I think there's probably a few sour pusses around the training ground at the moment. Injuries, international breaks certainly didn't help, which we've mentioned several times, but I don't want to use that as an excuse anymore. It's time for the lads to kick on, take some responsibility, get their heads up, and push us back up that Premier League table. So thanks for sticking around for that video, guys. Remember, from Monday, you will be getting daily updates. Most of them will be me in my work uniform, because my lunch break is probably the only time I get to make videos during the week, other than maybe a Monday and maybe on a Thursday. I sometimes have enough time then, but you will get daily updates, guys. So enjoy your weekend. Fingers crossed we get a win against Aston Villa. Turn our season around. Stay safe. And as always, come on, you Spurs.